windshield type piece too. So some have that, some don't. State Farm kind of pioneered that. I remember it used to be so hard to get people to move from State Farm because every time the windshield broke, they got a new windshield. It's like if you were paying, $2,000 more a year for that windshield coverage. But it's mass marketing to the people. If you put that in their mind, every time the windshield breaks, you get a new windshield. They'll pay whatever. So personal articles, jewelry, fine arts, antiques, collectibles, et cetera, all are important to cover. Directly, why would you cover those individually versus just through the policy?
Through the policy isn't usually based on a percentage, and it's a really small percentage of the coverage of the actual home. And if you've got jewelry that's worth $100,000 and your home is worth $300,000, it's not covered.
Personal property in general is usually a percentage, but actual specifically named out, it may be an actual dollar amount. So it may be $5,000 for jewelry or $10,000 for jewelry. Blanket coverage has become more and more popular with jewelry because people say, if I'm going to lose this, I'm going to lose it all at once. I'm not going to lose it, onesie, twosie. Somebody's going to break in our house and steal all of the jewelry versus just one item. So we might want to blanket that coverage underneath the underlying policy. Now, whenever you're paying underneath the policy, you still have to live by the deductible underneath the policy. Having it separately scheduled, you wouldn't have to have that deductible as well, but you're paying for that as an individually scheduled item. So important to have appraisals. When you see the commodity prices, especially gold, some of that goes crazy. It's healthy to get a new appraisal that's out there because they'll typically just go by the appraisal on file, and that may be 10, 15, 20 years old. If that has appreciated in value, go and submit a new appraisal, for that. It'll increase typically the coverage price of what you're doing, but why have insurance if it's not for the right dollar amount? If it's gone up 100% value, you're paying, $40 less for 50% of the coverage. That doesn't make any good. It's bad math if you have something that's lost. And most of the carriers will require that above a certain dollar amount in each of those particular areas.
Some kind of goofy, if a client that has a lot of jewelry, which an old JP1 client did, they literally, as opposed to paying the premium every year to insure this amount of jewelry, they just got a safety deposit box at the bank. And it just saved them, $1,000 a year, but it was a rather extensive collection. So the wife would just go a couple times a week, and it was
just don't lose them on your way.
No, it was just quirky. Yeah, it was quirky, but at the same time, I couldn't understand why they wanted the safety deposit box in Key Biscayne, Florida. And they're like, yeah, we keep her jewelry in there. I'm like, all right, well, it saves us $1,200 a year. I'm like, all right, well, okay. And they were anyway. I was like, talking about
yeah, exactly. Beat up and just don't wear any of it.
Yeah, so just thought I'd throw that out there. Somebody might take you up on it and think it was a great idea, especially if they're bored and retired.
Personal umbrella policy, which we've talked a little bit about, protect against drastic what if, that occurs, leads to a lawsuit, against your net worth. There's certain price point, it used to be about $100 per million. That was probably closer to $150 to $250. Sometimes it's $300 per million. A lot of that's driven